How do the Cavs win this series? Get a better roster. The roster's not good enough. That's the bottom line. When they traded Kyrie Irving, since they got back, since they got back, it's because they're not going to win. Since they got back Isaiah Thomas, you're thinking, oh, is that an all-star Isaiah Thomas? No, it was an injured hip Isaiah Thomas. Crowder and some others didn't perform, even though Crowder's better than the players they got back in return after all those trades. And he was supposed to be the second best player only in what they got for Kyrie Irving. Point is, the roster's not good enough. This is why I didn't pick the Cavs to get out of the East. This is why I've been saying all along, for months now, the Raptors would beat the Cavs. Now, I know why people don't believe in the Raptors. Stephen A., they don't believe in the Raptors because they look at the roster and they go, talent? They're not the Celtics or the Sixers, right? But the Celtics and the Sixers will be in their full glory and full bloom next year. They're not the Cavs. They don't have anyone like LeBron. That's true, but that team was better last year. The Raptors are like a good prize fighter, like a real good contender, but he's peaking right now. And the Cavs are not. The Cavs are kind of has-beens right now. I mean, like, you look at the roster, Stephen A., they need to hit perimeter shots. No kidding, but they have to hit every perimeter shot. They just don't have enough talent on the team. They're not good defensively, and I'll go with you on sometimes the offense is the best defense, and if LeBron's creating and kicking out and everyone's getting open shots on the perimeter, and they can win if every single one of those shots fall. Like, they have to have an absurd shooting nights to beat a team as good on both ends and as deep as the Raptors. In terms of the psychological whammy that LeBron has enjoyed over Toronto, yeah, if this is the second time they've ever linked up, something like that, okay. But Toronto has been through this before. I believe they've learned. They're a better team than they've ever been this year. And new roster, Stephen A., the Cavs just don't have enough. They just don't have it.
Well, listen, it looks that way. I'm in no position to refute what you're saying in that regard. I'm just not going to jump off the ship just yet. Because again, what has my argument been from day one? LeBron's their kryptonite. I have seen teams in NBA history who collectively were better, but they ran into one or two guys that just had their number. And they were so forceful and they intimidated them so much that they wilted beneath the pressure. Now, one would argue that the Toronto Raptors are not that team this year, that they're better. I'm saying I have to see it to believe it. That's what I'm saying, because LeBron is LeBron. And going up against them, obviously 1-on-5 can't get it done. But if you find a way, for example, like look at what Tyronn Lue did in Game 7. Throwing a Tristan Thompson in there. Now, Tristan Thompson, not a big name this year, has been an absolute unmitigated disaster for him until Game 7. And then suddenly it's 15 points and 10 rebounds and a key block with under 2 minutes left in the game or what have you. These are the kind of things.
Thompson
if you can get that kind of effort from guys like that in a series like this, then to me, Cleveland has a chance. Now, if you're going up against a Houston or you're going up against a Golden State, that's entirely different because they're long-range snipers and they just drop bombs on you from three-point range all over the place, okay? But that's not Toronto. Yes, they can hit threes, but that's not their MO. They rebound, they bang, they get physical, they drive into the lane, they shoot high percentage shots. They do all of these different things. And so to me, you're basically setting the stage for the Tristan Thompsons of the world, the Kevin Loves of the world, and others to make a contribution that we would not expect them to make against a team that doesn't rely on that level of physicality in order to beat you. I think a key in this series, Mac, could be Fred VanVleet, because he's the third perimeter shooter that helps them spread the floor.
Definitely.
And Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan were telling me about that in the Wizards series when they had lost Game 4. I said they were completely unconcerned, Max, just sitting there. I mean, if they had some cheese doodles or whatever, they'd have sat back, reclining, kicking their feet up, eating those joints while they were talking to me, because that's how
why I never got off,
they were.
by the way.
And I said to them, why? And they pointed
that's why I never
to
got
Fred
off Toronto,
VanVleet.
Stephen A.
Yeah, they said if we have him, Stephen A.,
and those guys off
we're
the
not
bench,
concerned.
that second unit.
We'll see. We'll see.